Are we live? I see we got a countdown. Hey, what up? What up? Hope y'all can hear me okay. Appreciate y'all for joining all ones. Little, kicking off a new series with the homies. As you can, hopefully y'all can hear us okay. I think Marie, you out there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, we got Marie, Maria,
Yep, I'm here.
Brandon. You there?
Yep, I'm here, loud and clear.
That's what's up. I think Glenn and or Deuce is with us either in the backstage or present. Y'all chop it up whenever y'all have an opportunity to do so. Hey, listen, we just wanted to kick it off, man. Do something a little different, quite different actually. When you think about how we conversate on this app, and so we want to get together Wednesday nights. We trying to get this kicked off every Wednesday night about this time between 9:30, or excuse me, 9:30, 9:45, and just talk about some different things, man. Talk about life stuff, world events, politics, no subject off the table. So be prepared. I'm gonna just say that we got a lot of different personalities and a lot of different perspectives. So we hope to keep y'all entertained. Obviously, send us send us some comments. Let us know what you think and what you want to talk about in the future dialogues. But tonight we want to talk a little bit about fandom and health. Now, what does that mean, right? So, a lot of times we're on this app, we talk a lot about sports, and obviously how that intersects with life in some cases. But tonight, I wanted to, we wanted to kind of talk a little bit about all kinds of fandom. There's fandom in sports, there's fandom in music, is it art, and all kinds of art forms. Um, and we want to kind of discuss how that intersects with life, and how is it healthy? When is it unhealthy? When is it a little bit too much? How do what you're getting into and what's too much? So we're gonna talk a little bit about that. But before we get into the details, I wanted to just open it up to the panel, have them introduce themselves, and we can go from there. Marie, where you at?
How am I first? Okay. Hi, hi everybody. I'm Marie. Um, This is my first time ever being on a podcast, so I am a little bit nervous, but I look forward to meeting with everyone every Wednesday night and just chopping it up.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Maria, Riri.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Yes, it's Maria, aka Riri. What's funny, Malik makes fun of me all the time. Oh, hey Riri, because you guys call me that. But either way, yeah, y'all know I do brunch on Saturdays and stuff like that. But and we talk a lot of different subjects. And Deuce has been in there, and he's been like really keeping it. Hey, let's just not talk about football, So that's kind of cool. So this is kind of really good too because we'll be able to talk about different things, not just football. So I think this is pretty cool. So I'm excited.
Absolutely. Brandon, aka Smoke, what it do?
What's up, man? Hey, it's Brandon, aka URE, aka
Woohoo!
Unlearn, Relearn, Evolve for the All Ones. That's where we at with it. Hey, man, I'm excited about this. I love these type of conversations. I think these type of conversations need to happen, I mean, more often. Don't be afraid to, speak your mind, speak your truth, things of that nature. And yeah, man, I'm just pleased to be a part of this panel. So yeah, let's get it rocking and rolling.
That's what's up. So we gonna start it off with you, Brandon. What comes to mind when you think about fandom, and fanaticism, as it relates to a healthy balance?
So for you guys that do know, I am Smoke on the other side of the Twitterverse. And fandom has no intelligence. You know what I mean? It's a podcast all day. Shout out to Trail, shout out to South. You know what I mean? But for this conversation, with fandom and health, hey man, listen, it's levels to it. That's what I can say. It's different levels to fandom. Like you named a different couple ways, like you said, in the art field, music, sports, like whatever it is, it's different levels to it. But with someone like me, um, man, I'm invested heavy into especially my football and basketball. I'm invested heavy. And when that team loses, especially a big game. Man, that stuff used to make me call out of work. I'm not gonna lie to you. If my team lost Sunday in the big game, I'm calling out of work. If my team lost in the Final Four, I'm calling out of work. That's just how it used to be.
Oh,
But as I got older in life, I matured in life. I said it's just a game. Yes, I'm still passionate about the game of football, about the game of basketball, and all different types of sports. Hockey, baseball. I like them all, but football and basketball is my love. And I've grown in the aspect of, like I said, man, it's just a game. It can affect my day to day life because that stuff is unhealthy.
Yeah.
It weighs on you. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's just where I started with it, man. Like I don't think like it can get to an unhealthy spot of where you're figuring out like I didn't feel like this yesterday, but today I woke up feeling this way, and it constantly happens. And then you narrow it down. It's like maybe I care too much about a game. And when me speaking for myself, when I figure that out, hey man, I've been cool. I'm like, yeah, I still have my moments, but I've been cool for the most part.
okay. I mean,
Yeah.
and then go ahead, Maria.
Oh no, no. I was gonna piggyback, but in a different direction. So you can go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just, kind of can resonate with URE over here, and how certain results can definitely affect your mood, your behavior. It's so funny, man. It's very emotional. It's illogical. We have zero effect on these games and outcomes of these things, but it's funny how our entire either psyche or emotion is affected like he said, calling out of work and all that kind of stuff. It's actually fascinating if you think about it. But as far as you, Maria, what are some of the other things that you feel like is an example of where fanaticism or being a fan of something can kind of get a little bit unhealthy?
Okay.
Um, yeah.
So I'll look at it from the Stan perspective. I love Beyonce. Love Beyonce. I've been with Beyonce since no, 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 no. However, this is a parasocial relationship. I don't know her on a personal level. She does not know me at all. She doesn't even know I exist. And I think a lot of times as I've gotten older, like Smokey said, as I've gotten older, I am still invested in listening to her music and going to her concerts, but you would never see me commenting on anything she does on social media. I'm not going to invest my energy into arguing with people who say she can't sing. I'm not going to invest into hating on other artists who may have done her wrong. I just don't have that level of time nor energy, and I don't know her. And I don't, just
So do
like I
you
don't
consider
know, like,
yourself a beehive?
hell yeah, I'm a beehive, but I'm not
Oh,
crazy.
okay, 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 okay.
Yeah, but I'm not. I think it's like you said, is levels to it. I'm not. I think some of that is a little bit unhealthy. Like Trick Daddy said she couldn't sing, and then
Mm-hmm,
everyone went and gave his restaurant like 1-star ratings. That's a bit extreme. It was just his opinion.
mm-hmm,
That's
mm-hmm,
a lot. So, and everything isn't for everyone. Just like we might think Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback in the NFC East. Some other people might tell you it's Dak Prescott. A crazy person will say it's
mm-hmm,
Jalen Hurts. So
mm-hmm,
I just think it's all perspective, and everyone is going to have their own perspective. But I think people need to really. I think social media has made fandom a little bit over the top when it comes to certain things, especially when it comes to s- stance.
mm-hmm.
What I mean, what do y'all think it comes from? The Beehive community and sports community. You got the Swifties. Um,
That's me.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
like
Here
what
we
level of
go.
Swifty? What levels of Swifty are you, Riri?
I mean, listen, I listen to all her music. And because we're talking about fandom, right? So basically I became a fan of hers when that whole thing happened on the stage with Kanye, right? Because I was a super Kanye, fan then, and then I just kind of like said, forget you. And then I started listening to her music. So it was like that's kind of how I became her fan. So for me, like I listen to her music, I watch all the documentaries, I've been to a couple concerts. So that's my level of fandom. But Marie said a key word for me too is um investment, right? Because you invest time, now you invest money, and at what point does it become too much? Because like in Smokes, deal, he's like he sometimes he didn't go to work and stuff like that. So then on the other side is the same thing, right? Because we invest in it. Us for me, my fandom, brought me, to you guys and all that good stuff. So, but that's also an investment, right? Because I invest, to fly out there. I invested on the season tickets, and some people take it just a little bit further, with all the gear and like even doing their cars, it just becomes extreme, right? Um, and then some people of course go into gambling, but I think that that's another aspect of it, because it can get to be too much, right? And some people start hoarding stuff, right? Like they're online buying stuff. So I think that's another that could be toxic too. So it's the level of
Mm-hmm.
fandom, like, you know how much are you actually spending? It's
Yeah.
the
When is
money
enough enough?
aspect. Yeah, right.
I'm gonna say this like in with my life, 2020, and it started January, the day Kobe died. It did something to me internally. Like I'm sitting on my couch, it's breaking news, and Kobe died. And still to this day, my wife say, "Babe, you were in a blank stare for 17 minutes. I didn't hear anything. I didn't know she was like, babe, are you okay?" And I say, you know what? Like when I thought about it, as I think about it now, I'm like, it did something to me in my fandom because I noticed like that's around the time I stopped calling out of work because of a loss. 3 years later, we got the Sam Howe. I'm on that app howling. But it got to a point in that season where me and my brother watched the game every Sunday together. I'm laughing at the game of football. I'm like, we are horrible. This is a shame. Why am I wasting my time, like putting so much emotion into it, if they not even giving me a good product? And then 24 happened, and you can't tell me nothing about that. And it's like now I'm back invested in it, like I was before 2020. My emotion when my Blue Devils just lost a week or so ago, I was hurt. So it came back, and I had to wheel myself back in Sunday to hop on the show for the draft show Sunday night, and I was 30 minutes late. That game ended at possibly like 7:10, 7:15. I didn't get on that show
Yeah.
to 9 o'clock because it took me that long to reel myself back in to realize it's just a game. That's where I'm at with
Yeah.
it.
So how long do you think it would take you to get it together if the Commanders made it to the Super Bowl and we lost?
And listen, I don't. Listen. We make it there. I better win. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that you beat me. You better go win it. After the game, the NFC Championship game, I went in Eagle Spaces. You beat me. You better go win it. Talk to people on this app about UConn. You beat me. Just go win it.
Smoke,
I don't
that
want to
wasn't
lose
her
to the loser.
question. Her question was, if we lose,
I know
how
that.
long is it going to
If
take
we
you to
lose,
recover? That's her. Are you going to take 1 day off, 2 days off?
that's the
Like,
part. Listen. First of all, we going to the Super Bowl. I may have to put some time in because I may want to go to that game. That's just me. But
That's
oh man, let me say, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt, Marie. It is. But like I say, I have to find that balance to just understand it's a game, and it took me 2+ hours or almost 2 hours to find it just a week or so ago. Instead of it lingering into the morning, me rolling over, calling out, saying I can't make it in the day, taking that day off, and did absolutely nothing. That's how it used to be. I ain't lying to y'all. So there's levels to this.
Do you think that age or just maturing changes your perspective of fandom? Because
With me, yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
think as I've gotten
Mm-hmm.
a little bit older, you know, I might have been a little bit more invested into stuff, but as I've gotten older, it's definitely has changed for me.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
it has. Hmm.
I think about the other forms of types of fan or forms, genres outside of sports, even, right? Like you have, you know, full grown adults that are, into like D&D, right? Dungeons and Dragons, or they're into, um, Harry Potter, and, they're into K-pop, and, they have a lot of different
Hmm.
communities out there that are, and I'm talking like, and then you think about these Comic Cons where people dress up and go to these events
Yep.
in their favorite, comic, either hero or villain, a character, and that's a big deal. And those are very expensive, by the way. Some of those costumes. But anyway, but like, so I don't know if age maturity is a thing, or if it's just like it's just something you just decide to do. Like, I'm just going to be a fan, and it's up to me, the person, to modulate if I want to go all in on this thing, or if I just want to, be a little bit more casual about it. I think it's up to the individual, because I don't know if age matters. I mean, all of us, I know some, you smoke, like I go to these, I'm used to be a season ticket holder. So I would go to a Commanders, training camp, right?
Hmm.
And then you have people out there looking at the team practice, right? It's just a glorified practice. And end of the joint, you got people looking for autographs, right? Uh, I've never seen, you have grown men like bulldozing these kids to get autographs of players that are probably younger than these. You know what I mean? So it's a, I don't know if it's an age thing. I just think some people are just like have accepted the fact in some of these examples, right? Okay, but whatever your fandom, your fanaticism of choice is, I'm just gonna be a fan. I'm gonna rock it out. Uh, Call me whatever you want to call me, but or judge me, but I'm gonna go all in because that's where my heart is.
Yeah. Like for me, you're not, I love Beyonce, but I still love Rihanna. And I like Brandy. And I like Monica. And I like Cardi B. And I used to like Nicki Minaj. I can like them all. I don't, my fandom doesn't say I can only like just one. And some people go so over the top where they get on these, I don't know, it's a lot when I see them go so hard when there's so many talented people to go around, so much art for you to enjoy. It's a lot. And I really think that aspect of fandom, no, I can't even say, because in the 90s you had fandom and you had people picked sides and who they like more. So I don't really know where it comes from, but I think social media may have made it a lot more, I don't know the word to use, but it's much worse and
Hmm.
than what it used to be. The way that people have just created such huge stands today. Like even Taylor Swift and Beyonce. Like I don't care what Taylor Swift's numbers are. I don't care what Beyonce's numbers are. They both have their fans. They both have talent. It's just it's a lot. It's for me, for some of these fandoms, it's a lot.
I don't
And I
think
think it's because maybe I'm more of a low key type of person. I'm more of a private person. So when I see all that going on, it seems like it would probably give me anxiety to, to have to go through all that just to enjoy someone. So I'm more so the type of person who would just naturally step back and not want to be in the mix of that.
Riri, do y'all remember, or at least remember hearing about or seeing, maybe personally or just through different forums how insane Michael Jackson was. Do people realize
Oh yes.
how
Listen,
People
Yes.
passing out.
insane that
Yes.
was?
Yes.
that's an age.
Yes.
That's an age conversation. That is an age conversation
Yeah.
because I'm literally on X and hear people say Drake is bigger than Michael. And
Come
it's
on,
like,
No.
bro.
What?
I'm like, bro, listen, I understand we're in the internet age. I understand we in the streaming era, but there's no way, bro. The outreach this guy had, man, in countries where we're like, we thought that, what I mean? They were poor countries or whatever it is growing up. This dude has so much outreach. So, yeah, man, like, come on.
But even
Mm-mm.
with you saying that, CeeLo, like, yeah, I remember it was just crazy. I mean, Michael Jackson was just like, my gosh, right? But maybe the way I felt about that, about him, was, like over the top. There's like that one person that probably feels that way about any other artist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's just to each his own, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like like
yeah,
like you said, Beyonce and Taylor Swift. Okay, I could be just a certain way with Taylor, and Maria is the same way with Beyonce. So it just depends on the person, and these artists too. It's just the way you feel about that person, right? And with Marie saying, like these people making comments and stuff like that, like I don't really, I'll make my comments here and there or whatever, but some people really are passionate about it, and it's like, first of all, you're arguing with people on the internet. That's number one. And then you also too, you're going so hard for like an artist. That person will never see this. They don't know you. You know what I mean? So like you're getting like worked up and upset over like for what? Right? You're never gonna meet this person. I'm not gonna say never, but probably never. Right? And you're definitely not gonna ever meet these people on the internet. So it's too much sometimes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Deuce just reminded us, like, what other icon could drop a movie slash documentary on a major NFL weekend like a Super Bowl?
Mm, man, I
Like,
didn't even think of that. I
bro
didn't
was
even think of
different.
that.
It was a black and white. I think it was a black and white video. Him and Janet, I think is
But
who they dropped
no,
on that.
That's
no, he dropped
black.
in the movie the 24th. The Super Bowl is, I mean,
Yes.
the draft this year is the 23rd
Yeah, you're right.
through the 25th.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point. Like, bro was different. Like, I think Riri would make. I felt like what made the Michael Jackson thing, and it's hard to explain if you weren't there, right? We just talking to probably people probably like, yeah, whatever. We got Drake, or we got Chris Brown. That's one I
No,
hear a lot too. But
no.
like the fact that the way that MJ was able to influence so many people without social media, right?
Yeah.
This was just on a TV screen, or when we used to watch music videos, either MTV, BT, whatever. You just had like those very standard uh ways of consuming stuff, and it wasn't on your phone computer. Like, we didn't have that. It was just talking about it at school or at home, and then you saw it on TV, and maybe they replay it. Like, bruh was very effective. Like, whatever he did or they did to make him as popular as he was without all the extra stuff that they have today, it's kind of crazy. If you think about it.
But
Yeah,
wasn't it
like he
his
was
talent?
huge without everything. He was huge. You know what I'm saying? You're right. It was crazy. Like you remember when the videos came out? Like I couldn't wait. And if you didn't have MTV, you better find somebody that had MTV because you had to watch it.
Yeah, you're right, and you're right. Yeah, you're right, Smoke. It was. Yes, this draft is going. They're going to do his movie. So yeah, it's just he. That reminds me. So that in form of fanaticism, that kind of came to mind just now, just because of the way he was perceived at the time. When he was alive, or I guess in his heyday. It was kind of crazy. I'm not sure I can think of anything like that today. I guess Beyonce might be close to that
Yeah. My
in
daughter
terms of a
cried.
global scale. Yeah,
She
I can see that.
cried.
Yeah, and smoke when like you said after Kobe. I remember when that happened too. I mean, I was upstairs and my sons were just like yelling and I was like, "What is going on?" And then that was so sad, but it was kind of the same thing when, when Whitney died and when Michael died. So it was like, yeah, I remember. I'll never forget those moments, and just being a fan, it was just sad because I mean, like I said earlier, you don't know these people, but you do. You grow up with
Yeah.
them, you listen to their music, and stuff about them. So they just become very familiar.
I think the one that hit me the most, Smoke, was I think it was Sean Taylor. I
Oh
was
man.
yeah, I was because I mean I like Kobe. I wasn't probably the biggest, like I wouldn't consider myself like the biggest Kobe fan. I was like a probably average, like casual Kobe fan. It was still sad. It was terrible. Um, I remember uh Sean, because I knew her. It's kind of one of them things like 9/11 and stuff like that, not to minimize, not no comparative to, but like you just knew where you were. I knew where I was when Sean Taylor passed because I was deployed. I was in I was in the Air Force. I was in Ecuador. I was like late night. It was like a late night joint. And I was like on it. I was, on the internet. I was like reading some stuff. I'm like, wait a minute, what? It was weird. It was on Washington Post. So then the next morning, he didn't pass. I mean, he didn't survive because I think he made it to the hospital. So it was really sad. I was like, that's so sad. Like that's like the worst. It was just sad events, the worst way to go out. And I just felt like empty, as if I knew him. You know what I mean? So I remember that one like probably the most. Smoke.
If I remember
We talk about that.
correctly, with that one, I could have sworn I didn't find out he got shot to the following morning for some
Yeah, it's
reason.
possible. Yeah, that's
And
possible.
you hear about it and you like, hold up, man. Like, no way, no way. And then a couple hours later, they say Sean Taylor has passed away. And I'm like, what? They say he got shot in the leg. Come to
Yep.
find out the art. And I'm just like, whoa, like, yeah, that joint messed me up, bro. That joint messed me up.
Yeah. My mom is not even a big football fan, and but she lives here, in DC, and she was like, "Did you hear about the young man?" I'm like, "Yeah." I mean, it was everywhere, like it was crazy. So that one's, as a fan, we talk about fanaticism and the balance, in terms of healthiness. I would always read up on the skins, and I live at outside of the area just because that's my team. But that one was like different. I was like, this is crazy. This is like real life. And so, yeah, that definitely kind of hits you differently when it's stuff like that.
Mm,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
So, now that we in, we a little bit of to touch on football a little bit more, a little bit more. Uh, so how, what y'all think about my home girl, Deani, what's her name?
Uh-oh.
Diana,
Uh-oh.
Oh, Rossini?
Diana
Di,
Rossini.
yeah, yeah. Is
Mm.
this?
But did they say it wasn't true and somebody photoshopped the pictures?
Oh no,
So
it's
that's what I'm trying to figure out. Because I saw something from, I don't know if it was New York Times, New York Post, that showed a picture with like three other guys in that picture in the pool.
Yeah, but then did
Did
that
y'all
look
see that one?
photoshopped? Yeah, that's the photo I'm talking about.
That's the one that looked
Yeah.
photoshopped. The
But
one
they're
without.
photoshopping that picture with everyone and like different people and all that stuff. So is it real or not? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
But I, like I said, I saw it on. It was either New York Post or New York Times or X. I would have to look it up.
okay.
But yeah, let me let me see.
I
Yeah,
think this
y'all
whole
keep it going.
thing, AI is just crazy, man. Like you don't know what's real, you don't know what's authentic. Um, they both came out with like comments that it ain't nothing, it's normal. That's what people do outside of the football field and all that kind of stuff. I guess my question is like, so like, where do you how does it make y'all feel when y'all know that these players and these reporters are really and these all these football people or sports people and these reporters are kind of like really close. It's
I
not just
think
professional.
I think it can skew their opinion when reporting, maybe a little bit more biased, or
Yeah.
I would
Yeah,
think,
that's like
because
having insider
I'm not going
information.
to hurt my friends' feelings.
Okay.
That's like having insider information. Like, you know what I mean?
Is inside information. I think.
Yo, yeah, that's a double entendre too. Man, don't ask me how.
Hey, hey. I just be like, okay, let's be honest, right? This is sports. This ain't real life. I mean, respectfully, this is not real life. It's somebody's real life, right? These players, coaches, like her husband, his wife. But as far as the stories that they're trying to get, right? These reporters and these journalists. I mean, is it worth? Is it that serious?
I mean,
You
this
Mm.
is
not.
a multi-billion-dollar industry, so
It is. So it's a money thing, right? Because they're not breaking news on like uh you know cancer cancer research and curing cancer or an Iranian U.S. ceasefire. He talking about whether somebody about to get traded or not.
Mm-hmm.
you mean somebody
Like
like AJ Brown?
Mm. I bet she would know where he's going to end up at.
oh man, it's kind of funny the AJ Brown story. Wow, ain't it? Because wasn't he was in Tennessee, and that's kind of where it all started, right? Like I felt like that's probably where they really connected. He got traded, and now it's another AJ Brown story. It's like a full circle moment.
But like, so when we had this conversation, and I said it earlier, around the young African American sports reporter that's independent, um, that was at the Super Bowl and had on the revealing outfit and all that other stuff. You know what I'm talking about, Philo?
Yep, yep.
So when
Little
we were
shorty
having
with
that
the yep. I
conversation,
remember that. Hmm.
people on the panel were basically saying like some people were like, she shouldn't have to do that to have a conversation or but like and it's just like, where's that noise at for this? Like, it's this is right here. We assume
Hmm.
that the young lady was putting the sex appeals on the game conversations, but these people interlocking hands and side by side in the pool and everything like that. And it take them to go back to, okay, let's listen to her now. And it just seemed like a little different conversation. I believe both of them are wrong if it's true. Both of them are wrong. You're married, what I mean, things of that nature. So
So,
yeah,
so
it's just crazy, man.
I'm gonna throw this out here. I'm gonna go at the URE direction. So y'all remember the Lynn Jones reporter out of Jacksonville who was
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
so y'all remember the backlash she got from her peers,
Yeah.
and they
Mm-hmm.
were like, why is
Was it
she,
her peers or was it her non-melanated peers?
hey,
Mm.
hey, I mean, hey,
Mm.
like it was all kinds of, integrity. You heard the terms integrity and do your job and why should you care and all. I mean, they were going on like whole op-eds,
Yeah.
and oh, their own podcast about how crazy that was to witness or to see. I want that same energy for this situation.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if we're gonna get that same energy. What do
Yeah.
y'all think?
I doubt it. I doubt it.
Yeah, we're not.
No. But I understand wanting to hold her to a certain standard. I do. It should be the same energy.
Yeah. No, I mean seriously, it's kind of
A double
it's it's
standard.
So
it's
so
definitely definitely gonna
what's ain't it a saying negativity sells?
true.
So they gave Lynn Jones backlash because she was promoting positivity. Something some of these reporters don't do. But because Diana Rossini, this is a negative story, it feeds right into like, you know what I mean, them, their mindset. So she's not like I think somebody said it earlier. By next Wednesday, we're not even gonna be talking about it unless some other information come out. But if nothing else come out, we're not even gonna talk about it no more until probably get week one of the football season and the Patriots are getting ready to play someone and she drops a report on her prediction on the Patriot game or something like that.
No, I guarantee both of them and their families are hoping this whole news cycle hurries up and forgets about this. You know, because it's slow. And in NFL news and sports news, you got no more college basketball, women's men's. You got, obviously no more football. You got the NBA getting ready to, gear up for the play-ins. This is kind of a little bit in Major League Baseball, but it's just a little bit of a perfect storm for them. And so the news cycle is probably like loving this. Well, they aren't, but
Mm-hmm.
everyone else is.
This
So
happened. I thought this happened, you know what I mean, last week. So last week I thought was the head coaches owners meeting. But this happened on the 28th,
yeah,
which was
there
the
was
second.
some
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some type of competition committee that included, coach certain owners and then coaches and they had meetings there. And then I think a certain subset of coaches and people stayed in that resort and stuck around. Um, he went to go he went to go to an Arizona State recruit event. So that's why, according to him at least, that's why
Mm-hmm.
he was still there from last week, and then of course, like I said, the competition committees and stuff like that. So that was his reason for sticking around. I don't know what her reason for sticking around for. Um, so yeah, bro, it's just wild. It's just wild. And then all her history is kind of coming back to bite her. Like she's been on the internet in the Twitter sphere, just kind of going wild in the last 10 years or so. So she's been
Mm.
kind of they've been kind of throwing it back at her pretty, but she going through it. I bet you she is, and so is he, whoever he is.
Because didn't that site page six release like the photos and stuff? Aren't they the ones that released it? Because I
I
read
Good
something
question.
earlier that basically like when I went on page six, they were saying their basically spy cameraman captured the picture.
That's a good question. I don't
So if
know.
they captured it on the 28th, that's basically that's almost 2 weeks ago.
So that was you saying that was almost like before the NFL,
Yeah, that's what I believe. Yeah,
before the NFL meetings. I see what you're saying.
yeah, because I think the meeting started like the 30th or something like that, and they
Okay,
went
okay.
home like Wednesday or Thursday.
So you saying
But
he left and went a couple days early?
matter of fact, I'm about to look it up. When was that news meeting? Yeah.
Sometimes you don't use all your PTO. You just want to, combine.
You know
This
what's crazy? She's not even that cute.
Yeah, so basically it started the 29th of March and ended the
Yeah,
1st. So that was the day before. So why release it on what was it? April 7th, yesterday? What made them decide to release it that day?
who, but who took the picture?
They said page six said their spy cameraman.
I mean, how did he have access to that resort to even take the pic? That is
Maybe they
insane.
were there. for the uh NFL. I don't know, the NFL meeting
I mean,
that
what's
was starting
funny?
the day after.
I mean, it was funny. Well, at least I can't speak to page six. I know like TM like I was expecting this to be a TMZ type thing. I don't know, maybe TMZ don't really care because it's sport, this is sports, very specific. People don't even know these people if you ain't in the NFL. But like TMZ will pay you. Like if there was a if that's a video or a photo from a patron, just like you or I just hanging out by the pool, and we notice these people, we take pictures, they'll pay you for those pictures straight up. That's what TMZ does, at least. And so it could have been very just random. Like someone could have been taking pictures of those mountains and happened to get them in, you know what I mean, in the foreground.
Hmm.
And someone like, yo, let me get a copy of that. I'll pay you for it, So that's how it happens typically. In some of these tabloids. But yeah, it's just I just thought about it more. It was more about I just bring it up to say, how and I kind of joked about it earlier, but how much is journalism really truly being affected nowadays, right? With social media, everyone's everyone's a journalist. Everyone has a platform. Um, I just wonder what is there any integrity in journalism anymore? Because you truly don't really have the only thing you really have that keeps you, I think, separate from everyone else is relationships, right? Like your relationships with these subjects and these people is probably the most valuable thing you have as a media person, because that's something you can't typically you can't buy that. You have to like it takes like sweat equity. You got to really work on that stuff. And I wonder if that's kind of how that works in the sports world.
Yeah, so I found the article. It say, in the middle of it, it say a page six spy told us that the pair, both married to other people, had breakfast on the patio of a hotel restaurant around 10:30 a.m. on March 28th before spending a leisure hour or so together at the pool and lounging side by side in the hot tub.
Hmm, 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 hmm.
That's on page six. That's in their article about it.
Yeah, bro, that's wild. That's wild.
But what if
Yeah,
it was
even
really nothing?
Listen, listen, if
so
I
so
if I'm on social media and I'm a married man and I see some dude, I don't care if it's a goddamn coworker, interlocking fingers, looking
Oh, I
like
didn't
they
see.
looking
Okay,
at
I
each
didn't see that
other.
picture.
Yeah, looking like they looking at each other, in the eyes.
lovingly.
And like, oh, we got some problems.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
guess.
didn't. I didn't take that much time like looking at the pictures like that. I just kind of scrolled by them.
Hmm. But even still, the one that's kind of far off is look like they standing on a rooftop. Yeah, I took the time to zoom in, and they're very they're very close, like
They look
looking at each
comfortable.
other in the eye. Yeah.
They look very comfortable with each other.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yep.
maybe it is something. No, okay, never mind. Take it all back.
I'm always say if you would not behave like that in front of your significant other, that's your answer.
Hmm.
I agree.
But there's on another account with all the old videos coming out of Diana. Basically, like it was one from 8 months ago on the JP in the B Mitchell JP Philly show where she
I
called
heard
herself
that.
a MILF.
I heard that. I saw that. I saw that. She
She's
said she
on
just want.
record saying,
Yeah,
yeah, like
yeah, yeah. Now
basically saying
she
she got a regular husband. Like,
listen. Like I
bro,
said, she these like the tweets and the videos and all the things that she said over the years, they just like everyone's like been waiting and bookmarking them joints. They just waiting and just they dropping them joints. Like you saw you saw the hints the whole time. It's crazy, man. Yeah. I mean, she said she don't. Yo, this is one video. I don't know if y'all saw it. She's being interviewed on first, not interview. She's doing the show for what is it called? Good Morning, Get Up, and she says on Get Up, she's talking about something, and she's like, listen, people do things all the time when they're in love, and he's married to a beautiful, get engaged to a beautiful girl. I don't post my husband because he ain't all that. That's what she said.
Oh wow.
She said he
Yeah,
ain't
that's
all
what she
that.
said. He was regular. Yeah, he ain't all that. He regular.
He regular.
Like,
I'm
he was
like,
like,
yo,
what?
she been wilding for like years. Anyway, sports integrity. Keep it
Mm-hmm.
up. Keep it up.
Mm-hmm.
How
But
are they?
yeah, man.
Yeah, how are they going to smooth that one over? Because everyone is going to look at her like she's crazy moving forward.
Yeah, they gonna look at her. They gonna look at him. Like, hey, bro.
No, I think they're going to look at her because she's the journalist and she's a woman, and it's a lot of we live in a society where there are double standards.
Oh no, I totally agree. The funny thing is though, is she's been jokingly accused of this already. It was more of a joke though. Like you had our former general manager of the Washington at the time Washington Redskins, uh, whose wife said she literally posted on Twitter that Deanna Rossini was providing favors to her husband, who was the general manager of the Redskins, for news content. She said it, and she deleted the tweet.
And
So
in recent years, he said those she stand by those tweets.
I believe so. Like this is not something new. Again, from our perspective, we're on the outside looking in, right? So all we can do is speculate. But like when you have something like that, a person's spouse accusing you of that, and she's still in the business. I mean, she's still rocking out. She's still employed by all these networks. She's doing her thing. She's an insider. Um, that's why I mentioned it in the beginning of us talking about it. It's not really about her. It's just like, do we even like have any journalistic integrity anymore? Like, do people even care how you obtain information? How it's transmitted, you know, all that stuff. As long as you get the content out, you're the first ones to get it. However you got it, it's all that matters. And I just feel like that's what it feels like as an outsider.
I
So
feel I think there are some journalists out there, but we probably just don't know who they are because they actually have integrity.
right, yeah,
And they're just
That,
not
that's
willing
a
to do.
that's a conversation for a good day. Is journalism dead? Like,
I know.
because like look at what we do on a day-to-day basis on in spaces. We yes, we follow some journalists, but it's more so just like, okay, for breaking news, we take the breaking news and we talk about it in our own lens. We talk so much. I cut on the network and I'm like, hold on. Your show don't come on the 3. We talked about that at 8:30 this morning. What nobody else talking about this.
But I do believe they get a lot of their talking points from Twitter. The
Yes,
producers will take those
that's
talking
basically what I'm
points.
saying. Yep.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
it's
So
Yeah, I
yeah,
Yeah,
think
that's a
I believe, yeah, we're journalists too.
yeah.
yep.
I mean we're definitely sources of information. I mean, I think wouldn't you think it's hard to I mean, it's probably hard to be original now, right? Like there's so
hmm
much, news out there being either created or whatever's happening. But all you like, you just go to Twitter or you go to, IG, TikTok, you read these people got blogs. You could probably write a program like software and just go and just sniff all the things that's happening. Like Twitter has, what is it called? Trending, so you can look at the trending topic and then boom, we're going to talk about that. And that's it.
Yeah.
And it's really not that hard. if you really think about it, to go and find out what people are talking about and then talk about it. You know, it's probably harder to like drive the conversation. Like it's harder to probably to get like to force people to talk about something else because people are already like consumed with some other topic. So yeah, man, I think that's another. You're right. You're right. So that's a whole topic because I don't know. I don't know how much people really are practicing what we would consider old school, like traditional journalism, where they have three sources of information, or three independent sources to confirm a story, and then you release the story. You have editors. You have people making sure it ain't false. Like none of that happens, in my opinion, like it used to.
So
Hmm.
do you feel like John Kime is still a journalist? Because he's kind of old school to me.
He probably is in this context.
Mm.
Because he's probably and he's very careful about what he says. He's in what he writes. He's not just randomly, trying to be like the first. I mean, we joke about John Kime all the time because he's very like, he doesn't really break a lot of news per se. But that's probably because he believes in those old school principles. I don't know if what I just heard is true because that person may not, have the right information. So I'm not going to report on it. Versus other people be like, yo, I heard it from one person. Who cares if it's the janitor? I'm reporting on it.
And if he does make a mistake, he always corrects his mistakes.
Yep, that's true. That's true. But yeah, hey, listen, we've been going for a little bit now. We didn't want to go too long. I just wanted us to, chop it up a little bit, talk a little bit about fanaticism, and we discussed these things a little bit indirectly. So I appreciate y'all, and all of us getting together and kind of just thinking about it from a different perspective and making sure as we're being fanatics about these different things, making sure we balance it out with our life and making sure we do it in a healthy way. Um, but and a little bit about journalistic integrity and stuff like that. But y'all, go around the room, man. What's up? Y'all got anything going on this week? Next week coming up?
Yes, my daughter goes to prom this weekend, so
Ooh,
super excited.
congrats.
She's
Oh,
going to
Yeah.
prom, getting everything ready. Then she'll be leaving my
oh,
house and going to Howard. So
going to Howard. That's what's
she's going to
up.
Oh,
Howard. Yes,
congrats.
yes, excited.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Congratulations on that.
Congratulations. Dang, it's
Thank you,
prom
thank
time,
you.
huh?
Yeah, this
Wow.
is early prom, but get it out the way.
Yeah.
Some pictures in, so I'm excited. So it's gonna be a good weekend for my household.
Love that. Love that. You already anything going on?
Oh man, I'm enjoying this vacation I'm on. Me and the wifey decided to take vacation the same time. Went down to the museums today, what I mean? Just me and her, a
Oh,
little date, what I mean? Going back tomorrow. We say, while them kids at school, let's go enjoy our time. And we did it for a few hours and stuff like that, nothing major, but yeah, I'm just relaxing, bro. So yeah, I'm here, man.
that's awesome. Which museum did you go to today?
We went to the Natural History Museum today.
Nice.
Tomorrow we're going to American history, and we're going to try to get in the air and space one as well. We're going to try to knock two of them
Nice.
out tomorrow. So yeah,
That's one of my
yep.
favorites, aerospace. Hey,
Yeah,
people
I love that one.
listening to you right now who don't live in the DMV, they like, yo, y'all got the Smithsonian right there. Like people don't
Hmm.
realize we don't realize how lucky we are to have some of these, and they're all free too, which is
And
crazy.
they free. Yep, they free. So yeah, as much as things cost out here, like I'm like, man, like yeah. So yep.
That's awesome, man. Enjoy that. Enjoy that.
Hmm.
Riri.
What's up? I don't got nothing going on this week. Really, we have a project at work we've been working on. And so that's kind of been taking up all my time. And I'm just exhausted because right now stuck in the office. Remember? Oh, I've come a long way when I used to be in the street and now I'm just stuck in the office. Um,
You
but
said,
no.
I used to be in the streets and now I'm in the office.
Anyways, my friend's birthday party is this weekend. She's turning 50, so that'll be pretty cool. My Loations friend, so you know how that's gonna go. Um, So that's
Nice.
about it. Yeah, I do work Saturday. It's a little bit of overtime, which is cool. I just moved, so there was I forgot how much, how expensive it is to move. You need this, you need that, right? And moving just sucks. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on with me. So nothing much.
That's awesome. Yeah, moving has to be one of the top three worst things ever in life. Very first world problem.
Let me
Very
tell you
first world
something.
problem.
When we were moving, I was like, when we started to pack, I was like, let me call these people, tell them I'm not moving, because I didn't realize how much I had in a one bedroom apartment. I was like, oh my God. I was like, we're not moving because packing
I'll,
was
Said
I'll,
plans
terrible.
canceled.
I'll,
Yeah,
I'll,
I'm not moving. So, but yeah,
I'll
it
label.
was okay.
I'm not touching nothing. I'll pack it and I'll label it. I'm not touching. I'm not carrying the box. I'm not doing none of that. I'm hiring somebody. I ain't got to. Man, listen, I'm too old for that, man. Like, no, man, nah, man. And then, like, I'm from the era where it seemed like I helped all my friends move at one point in their life,
Yo,
and it's like I'm the
yo.
one they always call. Why are you always calling me to help you move? I help one friend. Love him to death. I talk to him every day, man. I help this dude move at least 4 times, bro. And I'm like, two of the times it was just me and him. No way, man. I ain't with that mess, man. I told my wife we looking for a house. I'll pack, I'll label. We not touching the box. We not lifting the box. We gonna be there, tell them where to place everything at. I'll unpack it. But nah, man.
The movers can do everything. You could pay them to pack.
I could, but like I say, I want to make sure that's one thing I gotta make sure.
I
Yeah,
packed it, but my sons, last summer, that's kind of what they did together. They moved, because now if you go to U-Haul, it tells you, it asks you, if you want movers, right? And all they do is literally just load and unload. So I just had to pack
yeah.
it, and that's exactly what they did, and they got it done super fast too. They loaded and unloaded. They had experience, so I bought them dinner and a couple drinks, and they were happy. And I saved them money that way too.
Yeah.
That's the best. That's the best. Yeah, listen, packing, moving, all that stuff. You're right. You can pay people. That stuff expensive though. To pack and do all the, like they do. They go about a pound and they wrap everything. They be wrapping up individual forks. It'd be crazy. But yeah, no. Well, appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all chopping it up tonight. It was real fun. I appreciate the inaugural 2026 all ones. We're gonna do it again next week. But in the meantime, be safe out there. We'll talk soon. Later.
All right. Good night.
Peace.